Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunflower Cottage Crochet. This is Sarah. And today's tutorial is the Tunisian Reverse Stitch. The Tunisian Reverse Stitch is called that because you work it in, well, the reverse in a sense. Also, it looks like it pushes the back of a single crochet to the front. So you can see the bar and the two legs that look like a normal single crochet, the back side of it. That now becomes the front, and the back just kind of looks like a purl stitch. So to get started, I want to show you first exactly where we're putting our hook. And if we turn to the back side, you'll see that each of these has a back bar. Not the one that's swooping away, but the vertical one. These back bars are what we're going to be grabbing. And it feels much like when we do a back post double crochet type of stitch. When we work those, we insert our hook in from the back, right? So in this case, it's the same way. So I'm going to push my yarn out of the way. And just to show you, because it's going to be upside down for you also, that first bar is pretty hard to get and it's hidden. But here's the next, or the first 3 bars that you need to be going into. And so when I'm starting this over, I want to insert from the back and just go right through that loop. And then I'm going to pull up just like we always do for back post. Okay? But I want to go ahead and get you started with a foundation row as well. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, to get started, let's do a foundation row, and there is no stitch repeat or multiple, so you can do as many as you like. I'm going to do 10. I'm going to grab my Tunisian hook here. Okay, so we need to do a regular foundation row, so a Tunisian simple stitch row. So I'm just going to start gathering up my stitches like normal. If you haven't done this before, you really should be watching the introductory and Tunisian simple stitch videos because they explain how to do this in actual detail and slows it down. Alright, so I just chain 1 and then do a normal return all the way back. And we have our foundation row complete. To work the actual Tunisian reverse stitch, as I showed you earlier, we need to work the loop, the bar that is in the back. So we have our front bar that we normally work in Tunisian, like say for Tunisian simple stitch. But when we did the knit stitch, we went kind of between this back bar and this front bar, like so, and we came out the back, right? But this time we're not going to go from the front of the work, we're going to come from the back, so here, and then we're only going to grab that back bar. So now I need to turn my work so I can show you the back bar. Once again, and this is upside down, but this is how you're going to be seeing it too when you're working it. So let's see if we can do it in practice. The very first one is the hardest to get. We need to shove our yarn out of the way. And I do like to turn my work so I can sort of see that back bar. And then I'm just pulling up a loop. And you could essentially just leave it like this and pull up all your loops this way. Or once you've grabbed that first one, you can just work it like sort of like you would a back post stitch. And keep your front side front instead of working it upside down and looking at the back. but just make sure you're grabbing up all those back loops. And I did a chain up of 10, so I should have 9 of these loops, and then I will get my 10th one from the left edge stitch. And I have 9, so I know I've gathered up all of them. So I'm going to grab my left edge, both loops, and we just work a normal left edge. We're not going from the back or anything. And then we're going to chain up 1 and work a normal return all the way back. And now you can start to see that we have the bar and the 2 single crochet legs that form the back side of a single crochet. So that is why it's called the reverse. Also because you're coming in from the back instead of going in from the front. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for the next row. Just shove our the yarn aside. Find that very first vertical bar right here. It's the hardest one to get to. And then pull up your loop and go into the next one and pull up a loop. And after you've worked that very first row, it's so much easier. And if it's easier to just work from, you know, looking at it at the back side like this, then just do that. Okay, I can see I don't have any more, but I do have my left edge. So I need to work a normal left edge stitch. There we go. And there we go. So now we're going to, and you can already see these backward single crochet, backside single crochets. I'm going to chain up 1 and work a normal return all the way back. Okay, so you can see how this is starting to look. And the back side looks like a purl stitch. Okay, let's do it again. Just find that very first bar. There it is. And pull up a loop. And the next bar and pull up a loop. It does get easier each time you do this. The very first row of it and the very first stitch are always the worst. And if you're unsure if you got them all, just remember how many you chained up and count how many loops you have on your hook. And if you have all the loops counting your left edge stitch, then you've done it correctly. Okay, so now I'm just going to chain up 1 again. And I'm going to pull through all my loops. Do a normal return all the way back. I did notice when I was working this up before that I skipped a stitch every now and then, and I started getting smaller and smaller in my swatch. I was like, wait a second, I messed up. So it is quite easy to miss these stitches. So also something kind of cool about this stitch is it also looks like your legs are going up instead of down, and they kind of are. So here's your bar, and now the legs are starting to go this way. It's kind of neat. Kind of neat. All right, let's do some more together because I'm sure this is kind of hard to see, and practice makes perfect, right? So turn our work, and there's the 2 legs. That's the bar we need. It's the one in the back. And it disappeared when I turned it. Okay, so it's the very first one. So again, just like you're going to do a back post. Wow, this one wants to be difficult. There we go. And I am just gathering up every back bar. And again, if it's easier for you to just do it this way versus trying to hold it this way and see behind, just do it that way. There's no wrong or right way to see where the stitches are. Okay, and then I'm going to chain up 1 and do my normal return. So now for the bind off, I want to go over that for sure. Yes, we need to keep it consistent and do it the way we've been working this stitch. So we need to go ahead and I'm just going to turn my work over so we can see the very first bar, and then we're going to pull through and pull through. So we're slip stitching our way across again. We're inserting into the same bar that we've been doing this whole time, the back bar. And I'm just slip stitching my way down. All right, so now I am back to my left edge, and I'm going to bind that off as we normally would, which would be to just insert like normal from the front, grab both side loops, pull through and pull through, and then you're ready to bind off like normal. And there it is, and it looks just like the rest of the work. So this is the Tunisian reverse stitch. Please leave a comment and a like, and subscribe to our channel, and hit the little bell icon to be notified every time we upload a new video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.